Best on this new ride. That's Nightly News for this Tuesday. I'm Tom Yamas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night.
This program lineup is brought to you by Vision Express.
NBC's Wednesday primetime lineup comes into focus with Vision Express. Fast, fashionable, focused.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson, the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Guam's tsunami preparations and response put to the test today following a massive earthquake and tsunami advisory. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with a report coming up.
From the shoreline to the storefronts, we speak to the community as a tsunami advisory remains in effect for the island. More on this tonight.
An overcrowded prison with pretrial detainees housed with convicted felons. I'm Jonagan Charfers, and coming up tonight on Primetime, I'll tell you why the Department of Corrections is calling for big changes with their prison master plan.
Hafa and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Thanks so much for ending your day with us. Well, the island community kept on their toes today for a potential tsunami event following a massive 8.7 magnitude earthquake off of Russia at 9:24 a.m. The U.S. Geological Survey recorded the earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 8.0, later upgraded to 8.7, and then 8.8. No damages have been reported as of news time. Still, emergency management officials say today's response was in good practice for future disasters. Mitsuki Hirayama reports.
The island's tsunami preparations and response put to the test on Wednesday. Guam and the CNMI on standby for hours under a tsunami advisory triggered by an intense earthquake with a magnitude of 8.7 off of Russia. Officials warning of hazardous sea level fluctuations and strong ocean currents, expecting waves up to 3 feet by 2:37 p.m. Locally, while there have been several tsunami watches throughout the years, they've been quickly canceled. National Weather Service meteorologist Landon Eidlet says it's been about 14 years since Guam has seen a high tsunami threat.
It's definitely not a foreign situation for us in this region. Most notably with the 2011 Japanese earthquake and tsunami event, we were put right into a tsunami warning here in Guam and CNMI for that event. And so we were in a tsunami warning for a period of hours from the initial earthquake all the way up until the passage of that wave.
Guam Homeland Security and Office of Civil Defense's Jenna Bloss spoke with KUAM earlier Wednesday as emergency management officials kept their eye on a developing event.
We've been in very close communication with our partners with the National Weather Service as well as through the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center. So we've been receiving their updates on the hour, and we've been helping get that information out to the community. We've definitely looped in a lot of our partners as far as communication-wise.
A handful of primary agencies were on standby to gather at the Marianas Regional Fusion Center. The U.S. Coast Guard set Guam and the CNMI ports to heavy weather condition Yankee by 11 a.m., and the Port Authority of Guam suspended all port operations for a few hours. Plus, some businesses closed up shop out of an abundance of caution. Overall, Eidlet says it was in good practice.
These are not frequent events, and so there's going to be a wide range of speculation as well as expectations. And so these events, they can be very high impact, but they're very infrequent events. And so this is why we have to err on the side of caution for all government actions and communications, but also it's always a learning experience.
Meanwhile, tsunami alerts have been issued around the world, including Russia, Hawaii, Alaska, and Japan, whose coast was reportedly hit with tsunami waves Wednesday afternoon. Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
And we continue our coverage of the island's tsunami advisory, this time hearing directly from the community, from beachgoers forced out of the water to residents in the heart of Hagåtña. Here's more.
From the shoreline to the storefronts, Guam residents are reacting to the tsunami advisory in effect for the island, triggered by a massive 8.7 magnitude earthquake southeast of Russia on Wednesday. At Matapang Beach Park in Tumon, the message is clear: stay out of the water. By noon, Guam police clearing the beaches and locking the gates, cutting the beach day short for some, including this Chalampago resident.
The water was pretty rough. It was mostly locals out in the water. The tourists weren't in the water. It was pretty choppy. I was kind of bummed to hear that the beach is closed, but understandable. Tsunami's coming. We don't want to be here.
Over at the Port Authority, scuba operators also heeding the warning, finishing dive operations in the nick of time. This as officials warned of hazardous sea level fluctuations and powerful currents.
And we knew we have enough time that we could finish off the rest of our operation somewhere around like 11:30. And then we decided to pack up and secure everything else. And then next thing you know, Port Police comes around telling us to evacuate the waters.
And in the island's capital, scenes varied. Some establishments closing, others packing up, while popular restaurants serve through the lunch rush.
Pretty much it's steady, right? It's steady busy. However, we have a couple customers that they had to leave because either their work is calling them to come, close out their stuff, or they just had to leave because of the impact of the tsunami. When it becomes crazy serious, and that's when we'll go ahead and have the protocol and everything, and we'll get everyone out into business as well.
Meanwhile, as of news time, the tsunami advisory remains in effect. Officials warn of potential wave impacts up to 3 feet in coastal areas with strong currents. Residents are urged to stay away from beaches, harbors, and coastal waters. For the latest updates, visit KUAM.com.
And as part of the island's effort to brace for the increased wave conditions brought on by the tsunami advisory, we found one of the best vantage points to see the ocean's rising activity and ran into an old friend with deep experience in crisis management. Jason Salas has more from Two Lovers Point.
Paul Suba, a former police chief with GPD, says the island's emergency responders were already well equipped for situations like today's very uncommon tsunami advisory.
Plenty of coordination between Guam Homeland Security, the folks at the patrol level, the precincts, working together with the park rangers, particularly down here in Tumon, the visitor safety officers, the beach safety officers, clearing the beaches, which have been done, evacuated the tourists from the beaches and any other swimmers.
The mid-morning hours were bustling with activity across Tumon, most of which sits at sea level, where crisis professionals kept visitors, locals, and businesses informed and got them to safety.
On top of what's already here, the water can be extremely higher than people are used to. And when it recedes, the current is a lot stronger. And that is the reason why we were able to gather as many of the troops as possible to go out there and quickly encourage folks to follow the protocol.
But with the surge approaching Guam's west coast, Suba says this does not mean families and organizations on the island's opposite side shouldn't continue to stay sharp.
In the next few days or hours, well, of course, we're all hoping that things would go well for Guam in the next few hours, which they anticipated the arrival of the first waves or that. But we're also looking at if there is nothing significant, we can't put our guard down, and it may take a few hours or a day or two.
But Suba cautions that just because surges out in the water appear to be minimal or return to semi-normal states doesn't mean we're in the clear just yet.
Is the west side of the island the most affected? We got to remember, Guam's a small island in this big ocean. So when something like a tsunami comes, God forbid, but it wraps itself around the island, so even in Pago Bay and the southern part of the island, people must be careful. When they say stay out of the water, please. It's not going to be that long to stay out of the water, and it's a rainy day. Let's stay indoors.
Well, today's tsunami advisory was as a result of the powerful earthquake that hit Russia's Far East. Emergency workers removed rubble at the site of a damaged kindergarten. Fire trucks were seen moving on roads in Russia's Kamchatka Krai in footage provided by the Russian Ministry for Emergencies. Reuters was able to confirm the location of the video from the buildings, road layout, and building exterior seen in the video matched files and satellite imagery. Reuters was able to confirm the date of the video from the corroborating local reports and official statements. A local official had earlier said no children were inside the building and no injuries were reported. A magnitude 8.8 earthquake struck off Russia's far eastern Kamchatka Peninsula on Wednesday, damaging buildings and generating a tsunami of up to 13 feet that prompted warnings and evacuation stretching across the Pacific Ocean. Several people were injured in the remote Russian region, with Kamchatka Governor Vladimir Sokolov saying the quake was the strongest in decades. Again, a tsunami has hit coastal areas of Russia's Kuril Islands and Japan's large northern island of Hokkaido after the powerful 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Russia early Wednesday. Warnings are also in place for Alaska, Hawaii, and other coasts south toward New Zealand. The Japan Meteorological Agency said a tsunami as high as 40 centimeters has been detected in 16 locations as the waves move south along the Pacific coast from Hokkaido, just northeast of Tokyo. Officials urged caution, saying that bigger waves could come later. The earthquake at 8:25 a.m. Japan time had a preliminary magnitude of 8.0, Japan and U.S. seismologists said. Now, the U.S. Geological Survey later updated its measurement to 8.8 magnitude. Ferries connecting Hokkaido and Omori on the northern top of Japan's Honshu Island were suspended, as well as those connecting Tokyo and nearby islands. Some local train operations were suspended or delayed. Sendai Airport was temporarily closed. Also, Japanese nuclear power plants along the Pacific coast suspended their work schedule in response to the tsunami alert. Time for a quick break. You're watching KUAM.
Get set to ace the school year with Kmart's A+ deals for every grade. Crush the classroom with unbeatable deals on school supplies, plus tasty snacks and drinks that are perfect for packing lunches and powering through the school day. College bound? Get campus ready with dorm essentials like bedding, organizers, and cool touches to make it yours. Teachers, score everyday discounts on classroom essentials to spark every student's success. Move to head of the class only at Kmart. Kmart, back to school, back to cool.
NBC's Wednesday primetime lineup comes into focus. Focused.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
I grew up on Guam. Sports shaped who I am, but representing our island on the national basketball team taught me the importance of community. After 10 years in Hawaii, working at Bank of Hawaii, I came home to give back and to lead. At Bank of Hawaii, we're passionate about helping everyone in our community create a better life for themselves and their families to reach their possible. I'm Mike Sakazaki, and I can't wait to help you reach yours.
Anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Welcome back to Primetime. Well, Guam's prison is packed with problems. With detainees crammed alongside convicted criminals, the Department of Corrections says it's time to draw the line. DOC wants to rewrite the rules and move pretrial inmates out of Manila before overcrowding turns deadly. Jonah Gancharfaris has more.
When we had to terminate the negotiations, we didn't have the $16 million, right? And she said, and the governor just asked me, review the Modernization Act again, right, the law, and review the plan again. Take a look at it again and just see what is it that may need to be tweaked, or, what needs to be changed or what possibly changes.
The Department of Corrections is drawing a clear line. Mangilao's adult correctional facility is for prisoners, not pretrial detainees. DOC Director Fred Bordallo Jr. says proposed changes to Guam's prison master plan aim to protect detainees by keeping them out of the prison compound altogether. The overcrowded Hagåtña detention facility has forced DOC to use Mangilao as overflow, housing detainees in tent domes right alongside hardened criminals. As of July 23rd, DOC is holding 928 individuals, including 490 pretrial detainees and 398 convicted inmates, far beyond the 300 the facilities were built to hold. Nearly 21% of those detainees are citizens of the Federated States of Micronesia. Bordallo says DOC recently met with acting FSM Consul General Johnny Silbanas to share the concerns, particularly the risks of mixing detainees with prisoners.
A number of the pretrial are their nationals from FSM, and because of the overflow of the overcrowding at Hagåtña detention facility, those nationals are up here in a prison close by the vicinity of sentenced prisoners. And last thing we need is or it doesn't matter, anyone, it doesn't matter if they're FSM national or U.S. citizen and they're pretrial. We don't want them hurt, harmed, or killed by any sentenced convicted inmate that's up here in Manila.
Among the proposed changes, deleting any language in the master plan that includes jails or detention facilities on the Mangilao prison grounds.
When we remove the terminology now, the term that it won't be a jail, and the new facility is going to be actually for sentenced prisoners, convicted prisoners, then we are not talking about a population of the facility for 900, because that includes 500 pretrial detainees. Now you're basically talking for a population of 380 to 400, right, sentenced prisoners. That's more manageable of having a facility up here in Manila for a reduction of the population that are incarcerated, especially if it's just sentenced, convicted prisoners who are going to do their time, and we have to have them active in rehabilitation programs.
DOC is exploring alternatives, from moving female inmates to the Department of Youth Affairs compound to even possibly transferring some detainees to Saipan. The push comes as legal and constitutional concerns mount. A pretrial detainee's death from preventable harm, especially when housed with convicted felons, could violate federal due process protections.
For pretrial, there's a due process right, the 14th Amendment, right? And that they have due process rights. They're not to be, because they're innocent to proven guilty. Are there any indications that we're jeopardizing their life and their safety, right? Because they're there just to await their day in court, right? And if they believe that they're in a situation that can be harmed or at risk to injury or even killed, right? Or in an environment, they can certainly build a case of them being their due process rights being violated under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution.
With support from Adelup and growing concern from FSM officials, DOC hopes its plans will gain traction before overcrowding leads to irreversible consequences.
I'm going to assure the people of Guam that the majority of the force here, the department personnel, uniform personnel, are all in support of seeing my amplifying the situation of not combining a jail and detention facility up here in Manila, and they're all happy.
Jonagan Charfres, KUAM News.
Thanks, Joan. Well, improper air-to-sea routing blamed for slow deliveries. Now new validation steps are in place. The U.S. Postal Service says it's taking action after discovering that some mail bound for Guam and other U.S. territories was incorrectly routed, causing major delays. A recent internal review revealed that certain items, including priority mail and lightweight ground advantage packages, were mistakenly sent by sea instead of air, even when customers paid for faster service. USPS Strategic Communications Specialist John Hyatt confirmed new validation procedures are now in place at key processing centers to ensure mail is routed by the proper mode of transportation. The agency is also retraining staff and certifying routing protocols to prevent future misclassification. Hyatt says USPS understands how critical timely and accurate mail service is for customers in Guam and the Pacific region, and apologized for the inconvenience, promising improvements ahead.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a view of Asin Bay Overlook.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yeah. What's a snack wrap?
Boom. Back when we wore velour from the top of the head to the tip of the toe, the snack wrap was no joke. Takes me back. What you know about that juicy chicken? That shredded cheese. Come close. Ranch. I did everything to bring it back, nephew. Talk to me.
Educate. Get him. Okay, yeah, say less, Aunt. Let me do the snack wrap.
Yeah, let him do the snack wrap.
Can I get both, please?
Double him up.
Alright, repeat after me. Dear Lord, the about to go through life. Dear Lord, the about to go through life. We ask for a chance at first. We ask for a chance at first. A chance to go try. A chance to go try. A chance to do it there. A chance to do it there. We shall win. We shall win. Let be my goal. Let be my goal. Faith is on our line. Faith is on our line. We shall lose. We shall lose. Stand by the road. Stand by the road. Cheers when it go by. Cheers when it go by. Day by day. Day by day. Come out and back. Day by day. We got me beat. We got me beat. Won't beat, beat. Won't beat, beat. Oh,
GU Self Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Klein's hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual pin-coded gate and door access, because your safety is our priority. GU Self Storage, voted Pika's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
Bye. I wish they could move back home.
Should we build on a honeymoon?
Yes. Yes!
First Hawaiian Bank knows that family comes first. That's why our bankers work with you to make your what-ifs a reality. Personalized service and digital tools, all under one roof when you bank on the best. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
At Mount Carmel School, we're building confidence, discipline, strength, one child at a time. MCS offers MMA for kids, guided by world champion Brandon Vera in a safe, fun, and empowering environment. Enroll today and let your child discover the warrior within.
Okay, everybody, another 3 awesome things that are happening around our island community that we all love so much. And first off, I want to talk to you about art, because art meets impact. I absolutely agree, and this is cool. This is happening on Thursday, starting at 5 in the evening. Launch, Connect, and Give Back. How would you not like that, right? It's over in Cars Plus, it's in Mighty. It is super cool. You're gonna see the creativity of some neighbors of yours, and you're gonna be able to do good things in our community. What's not to love about that? We'll see you there on Thursday. All right, Tsunami Night Market goes down also on Sundays, and it starts this Sunday. It's over in Tsunami, duh. It's at night, duh. And it's a market, duh. See, they're really, really good at branding, they are, my friends at GVB. And every Sunday from 5 to 9, go to Pleasure Island because you are going to find really cool things, have good things to eat, have really good music, and you're going to save a ton of money. You're going to have a really good time because that's what we do in Tumon. We show hospitality. The lights in Tumon, also very, very underrated. And a back-to-school drive. All right, this is also happening on Sunday. So before you get ready for the Tumon Night Market, right, swing by and check us out at the KUAM Care Force because we are going to be working with our friends from Shell, IP&E, and Raising Cane's, and we're going to be at the mall in the food court collecting your donations, all right? We're not asking you guys to break the bank. Any little thing can help, right? A pack of crayons, some pencils, Post-it notes, anything that our kids can go back to campus with this year from any grade, at any level, and excel in school, because that's what we're doing. Back to school right around the corner, and we need your help, so we will see you there. Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy birthday to Jevelyn Pangolina, and it is hard to believe you're 28 already, and time really does fly. From the little girl with the biggest smile to the amazing woman you are now, I've loved watching every part of your journey, and you make me so proud, especially growing into the amazing mama you are today. Fills my heart with lots of love, pride, and joy. You are getting lots of love from the entire family, who says, we love you, Debs. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com.
And that's your Primetime Show. Thanks for watching. I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful.
2025 marks the 50th anniversary of Guam's first ever gold medal in the South Pacific Games, won in men's basketball with the games hosted locally. After a half decade, the team remains close and is the driving force for excellence for other sports to this day. Let's now pay tribute to our Golden Boys on their golden anniversary and look back at that magical summer of '75. The 1975 Team Guam men's basketball team, the very first team to win gold in the South Pacific Games, set the template, made history, and really set the pace for young athletes like myself growing up on Guam. We have here 4 members of that historic team, and their character and their sense of humor and just their amazing athletic achievements continue today. We have Kin Farron, Benny Lazama, Joe Taitano, and Greg Tekenko. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. For me, this is a real honor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Okay, Joe, let's start with you. What is the camaraderie between all the members of the team? I mean, we've got 4 of you in the gym right now, the very same gym where you won the gold medal match, but how have you guys stayed close?
I mean, believe it or not, even after 50 years, I mean, just being around these guys and just trying to talk about it, it's emotional with me. After all these years, but that's how close we were back then. I mean, we ate the same food. We stayed in that little room up there, okay, and we just enjoyed one another's company, and the only thing in mind was just to work hard and play good basketball for Guam. That's basically it. I think that was the thing that kept us together. So it was definitely a brotherhood, if you will, because Webb Smith, I think, is partly to be credited for that because he was the one that got us together.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, now Benny, if I may, then I've talked to several members of the team and several people related to the team, and they all say you were one of the emotional leaders. And emotion is kind of the key word because right now we're in this wonderful gym. It's got the GW colors. There's wonderful air conditioning. There's lighting and everything. That was not the case back in 1975. No. This was a completely different facility. Describe the conditions that you guys played under.
Well, yeah, there was no AC here. There was no AC at all. We live in a room up there with cots. That room didn't have an AC either. But we were all together, real tight-knit family, like Joe said. We were not just players in a team. We became more band of brothers, really. And it was really crowded in this place in '75. The final game, people were hanging out outside the windows. They were lining up. We didn't even have room to play. They were right up on the line on the baseline on the sideline, and all the way back. But it was an amazing time for us. Yeah, we wrapped that gold medal around our neck, but our mission was for Guam.
Well, one of those gold medals is around the neck of Greg Tekinko right now. So, Greg, what was it like to actually put Coach Webb on your shoulders and, you know, carry him and have that victory celebration when every member of our team, you said, we did what we set out to do and we did it in front of our family, in front of our friends, and right here on Guam soil?
Yes, you know, our coach is very good. He trained us.
Good. Take the mic, please.
The coach is very good, Coach Webb Smith. He trained us, and we run all what he wants. The less dribbling, the better. You know, and man, outside shooter, and I play with these guys. We got a good teamwork. We run.
And I just saw you guys when you walked in the gym here. You guys are still making jokes,
yes.
You know, embracing each other and everything. So what has been the relationship with you and the other members of this team as you run into them over the years, or just like kept in touch?
Yes, we're, you know, like Tony Susrico, those guys, Jam Kawu, and Jesse Benaventi. But we missed Ray Flores, passed away, and Joe Connolly, and Jeff Denied, and Manny Villavicencio, and Luke Cohen, and all we have here is like 7 of us here in Guam. So I think Jam is somewhere, you know, probably off island, I believe. But Jesse, I met him once, but I didn't.
All right. Now, if I can ask Kin now. Yeah. From what I read, I was 1 year old in 1975. I was a little kid running around in Pampers.
Old now.
Well, not at all. But what was unique also about that summer was apparently, I mean, that's in the middle of the rainy season for Guam anyway. Apparently, that June was uncommonly rainy. So what were the conditions that you had to work out in, practice, you know, come to the games?
Yeah, like I said, I know air conditioning, and I mean, from the time we came out of that room, we were running all the time. Webb kept us busy, right? And I give Webb credit for keeping the team together. The idea of having us all housed in that little room up there brought us together a lot quicker than it would have if, you know, because like we practiced for a month and a half before the game. It wasn't, yeah, but having to live together and eat together, you know, it's almost like being in college, right? You're sharing the dorms and all this stuff, and when we wake up, the first thing we think is basketball. The last thing we think about is basketball. So I give credit to Webb for a lot of that. And then, like I said, we're a band of brothers, right? We have our own WhatsApp where we keep in touch with each other, and we tell stories and stuff like that, or we follow Terry Stotts, whatever. But mainly, the guys have just come together really well, and we gelled really well because, you know, like Ben said, we're a band of brothers. We had one mission, and that was gold medal. There's nothing else we were playing for.
Well, mission accomplished.
Yes, and so when we got that done, right, and with a leader like Joe and Tony, I mean, we were just following those two guys.
Well, let me ask Joe now, because, you know, you became a legend not just because of your play on the court, but also as you were coaching for decades. I mean, when I was in high school, you were still coaching. What is the legacy of the 75 team with the younger players and the national team that has been so successful now, winning, you know, golds and silvers in the Pacific Games? But you guys really set the tone for them. And what's your legacy?
I think one of the biggest thing, you know, and when you ask about the weather, right? Honestly, that wasn't even in our minds at all. It was just all about working hard and playing hard-nosed basketball. I mean, if kids nowadays went through what we did in 75, they wouldn't survive, to be quite honest. I mean, what Webb Smith did to us, it was just, I mean, I look back every now and then, and man, you know, had us wearing weights on our ankles, pressing against the second team. And every time they break the press, he had us running steps or touchdowns.
So it sounds more like boot camp than training camp.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically that's what it was. And that's why we didn't fear anything. I mean, you talk about weather. I don't even remember the weather at all. That didn't even came to mind at all because we were just so focused in terms of what needed to be done on the floor. So work ethic is such a big thing. If there's anything that I learned a lot from that team and from Webb Smith, it's just working hard. And you know what they say, that hard work pays off, and sure enough with Webb Smith, he was a living proof of that, that hard work does pay off.
Benny, how does it feel a half century later? You guys, relatively speaking, were kids back then. You guys were young men. Some of you were married at that time. Ken, you were a newlywed at that time.
Ken was
how does it feel now with like 50 years of history having passed and to see these guys now and to reflect on what you've done?
I feel pretty old. Anyway, I don't know. For me, we're not just players. We became really practically brothers. And going back to practice, what Joe was saying, in 71, and there was 5 of us originally.
Yeah.
It was Joe, Greg, Tony, myself, and Ray Flores, bless his soul. And I remember preparing for 75, Webb said he was going to scout the top players in high school. It's one of them.
75 is a defining moment for me. I mean, it was the stage that set my career because someone took interest in the way I played basketball, and the following year I went and played for Adams State. So and that's where everything started for me with regards to career and I guess stepping up the level of basketball, playing basketball. So it definitely is a special moment for me, and I'm just thankful, for the people that were here. I mean, if you had seen GW back then in terms of where they were hanging hands. I mean, they were up there in the louvers. I mean, it was just standing. I mean, it was even hard to take the ball and bound from the sideline because there were people standing in between the black and the red line. So it was definitely a moment that I'll never forget. And always going back to that moment.
Well, gentlemen, certainly it's the achievement of a lifetime for you and all your teammates and the coaching staff and everything. And this has been an honor of a lifetime for me, again, as a young guy that's been able to really appreciate what you guys did for myself and my peers and everything. So congratulations to you on this 50th anniversary of your gold medal.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having us here. Appreciate it.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the Tsunami, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
NBC's Wednesday primetime lineup comes into focus with Vision Express, fast, fashionable, focused.
KUAM TV, first on Guam.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place? Hey, this crispy chicken's from Taco Bell? The taco place? This chicken is so perfectly crispy with tortilla chip coating. It's from a taco place.
Surprise!
What? It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
We're now here in Upper Tumon at John F. Kennedy High School, the newly rebuilt JFK, but this place and this campus did not look like this in 1975, and certainly the gym did not look like this, but this is the very ground where our 75 men's basketball team held their tryouts and worked on their game, developed their chemistry, spent a lot of time here. the talents that would propel them to the gold medal game, and the youngest member of that team was a 19-year-old, affectionately called Champ. Okay, Champ, so first thing I gotta say is congratulations, 50 years.
And we're still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you reflect on the fact that your team, you know, as young as you were, as ambitious as you all were, as much passion as you had for, you know, for representing Guam on your home soil at that time, that was a half century ago. I mean, you were back from your freshman year in college. Your eldest daughter wasn't even a full year yet, and that was a half century ago.
It was a long time ago, for sure. You know, as time passes on, you know, you think about your life and all that you've done, and it really is a highlight. I was really young at the time, and the relationships you form and those experiences, you know, are important when you look back and try to reflect on, you know, how the last 50 years have gone, how the last 60 years have gone, and clearly that summer was a highlight, and more importantly, it helped establish relationships that continue to this day. I mean, some of the treasured relationships and the memories, you know, are tied to that team and that summer.
Which is also interesting because in your own family, you're the oldest boy, and yet on that team, you were the baby.
Yeah,
you were the youngest on the roster.
I have to say, I was really lucky to get on the team. I had been away at college, and I had gone back, and it wasn't a goal or anything, but I loved basketball. And when I got back to Guam, I heard that they were still holding tryouts. The tryouts are still open. And so I was encouraged to go out to try out for the team, and I did. I think the day after I got back from California, you know, I went up, and I think the practices were at JFK. The tryouts were at JFK. And so I was anxious and a little bit apprehensive. I didn't think I was going to make the team. I was the youngest, and they were really great players. But I was fortunate that Coach Webb had selected me, and it was a great experience, and really glad that it occurred.
How well did all of you on the roster, how well did you guys all know each other, either from like village leagues or just like you knew them from high school? Or
Oh, yeah. I've been playing basketball since I was in middle school, early middle school, maybe even elementary school. And Guam was small back then, and the basketball community wasn't as large either. And so I grew up playing with a lot of the younger guys. And at some point, I think I played against some of them in the All-District League. And then later, we played varsity league together. Joe Tithano I knew because Joe would run down from Jigo and have pickup games at Tamuning Court or wherever he could catch a game. And
he probably literally did run down.
He literally did run down, and Joe was always an amazing athlete. Always sort of wondered how he found the energy and the dedication to do what he did. But all these guys, some of them were friends, some of them were contemporaries, but a lot of them were sort of heroes to me, and it was great to get to know them. And we knew them in a really close environment because we all had to live together during the SPG games, and we all bunked up at GW, and there's a loft that overlooks the court, and so that's where we'd all have our futons or our cots, and we'd practice all day and hang out in the gym, and then we'd sleep at night in the loft. It was a great experience.
Now, once the team was formed, was it the players who elected Tony as captain, or did he just kind of like slide into that role? Because he also had experience in previous SPGs.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this: this was clearly Tony's team. Tony was our Michael Jordan. He was our Magic Johnson or our Larry Bird. This team was clearly Tony's team. He was the leader because he was the best player. Everyone looked to Tony, and he was a leader by example. He didn't do a lot of talking, but he led by his dedication and, you know, just his talent. And, you know, you had experienced players. You know, we looked at Benny Lazama, who was a great player from Sinahanya, and he was a leader in his own right with respect to the team. He was a great court general. Then you had Joe. Joe would drive everybody because Joe worked harder than anybody and demanded that you also work hard. So, you know, he kept the fitness standard and the intensity standard pretty high. But it was clearly Tony's team. He was the leader of the team, And I think everyone will say that we look to him as the team captain. Right.
So take me back to the gold medal game and everything. Like, American Samoa was actually heavily favored in the tournament, but you're playing on your own home soil, and you said, we're in front of our friends and family, girlfriends, wives, and everything like that. Like, what was the attitude of the team, and what was the mindset?
Well, the team, some of the players had gone to South Pacific Games before. I had never participated in an international competition or in the South Pacific Games. And I think there was a feeling among the veterans on the team that this team could beat American Samoa. And so American Samoa was loaded. Back then they had players who were Samoan but were living in Hawaii or in the mainland, and they had gathered together, and it was really a sort of a stacked team. And when we saw them at the first game, we played them twice. And the first game, I don't think it was that close. We beat them pretty easily, and it built up our confidence. And then the second game we played, I think we eventually beat them by a pretty by a pretty good margin. And they were bigger than we are, and they had some really great players. In fact, when I ended up after law school working in Hawaii, I'd run into some of them at the gym, at KUAM gym on the weekends. We'd have pickup ball, and they really remembered that Guam had beaten them, and they'd give me a hard time or they'd tease me about it. But it was really a great experience, and something I'd never experienced before. But we had the finals at the GW gym, and all I remember is that people were on the roof outside the gym looking in from the louvers. It was clearly a fire hazard and very dangerous, but there was such a demand to watch this game. And I think that not only were we sort of proud to represent the island and to be successful, but I think the island was really proud that we had finally beat, really a Goliath, right? They were a lot bigger than we were. They were not only players from Samoa, but Samoans from Hawaii. And it was really a satisfying win that I really will never forget and always sort of treasure.
Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
Being stationed on Guam, there is much to do on the beautiful island. But before you pack, sanitize any household items and leave any organic materials behind to prevent the introduction of invasive species. If it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
New training location confirmed. The Mariana Islands. Before and after training, you will identify and sanitize your tactical gear to prevent the spread of invasive species. If it's not native, it could be invasive. Leave invasives behind.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Parents, would you like your child to be well prepared for school? The Guam Early Learning Council believes in building a supportive community to help your child be successful in school and in life. If you would like resources and information to see if your child is reaching key stages of growth for school, call 311 Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. excluding holidays. We are here to assist.
I'm going to school. I'm going to learn and play. That's so cool.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. 4, 5, 6 titles, they'll say enough is enough. But when you've won it all 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Any team needs a leader. And by all accounts from those that shared the court with him, Tony Susuiko was far and away Team Guam's best player and the heart and soul of our history-making run. Seve Susuiko, an accomplished player in his own right, grew up knowing Tony's greatness, but also the character that led to our golden run in 1975. Let's hear now from a grateful son honoring not only a legendary sports figure, but a humble dad.
Seb, you actually have more medals than your dad, right?
Yeah, well, more silver medals. We have the same amount of gold medals. So he has 2 gold medals, I have 2 gold medals, and I have 3 silver medals. So.
And there's an important distinction to make because your dad actually played in the SPG before the 75 games and then after. And so, like everybody always says, like, you know, it was his team, you know, he led, we followed.
Yeah, no, so my dad, he always recalls that 75 team, the first gold here on Guam. I mean, nothing means more than winning, you know, at home in home court. So he always reflects that every time we sit down and talk. He, you know, gives me goosebumps, and that's what kind of motivated me in my basketball career to, you know, kind of meet that pedestal and kind of make it go further, which Guam basketball has gone. I mean, thanks to those guys, that 75 team that, you know, those are like the roots of Guam basketball, and we kind of, now we're flourishing and where the program is.
And Dad actually turned 75 this year, right?
Yeah, so it was his birthday yesterday. He turned 75, still strong. That was the 75 team that won. It's a 50-year anniversary, you know, so it's funny how things are like, you know, they come in full circle.
How often does he bring it up, and how often does he like share those memories with you, and what specific stories does he tell?
Yeah, you know, my dad's a humble guy from down south, so he doesn't bring it up a lot. The only time he goes off on it is if you ask him a question, then he'll go on and on and on, but rightfully so, because those times are, you know, those are the good times for Guam. In the 70s, the sports in the 70s for Guam was, you know, it was a beautiful time.
Mm-hmm. What about your own game has been shaped by, you know, I mean, genetics is one thing, and, you know, and talent and an interest in the game, and, you know, he maybe took you to go play and, you know, dragged you along and everything like that. But what about, you know, his game just translated down to yours, and you just get it from him?
Yeah, I think, you know, just being surrounded by a great player and then hearing stories from other people tell you about how great your dad was puts a little bit of pressure on you, enough to make you want to play and be great, you know, just like your dad. And I'll put the same pressure on my son, Theo, so.
Now, if you're given a nickname by your peers, that's the best.
Yeah.
How did your dad get the nickname Helicopter?
They gave him the nickname the Helicopter because he would jump up and he would just hang. People would be landing and he'll still be in the air, you know? So he had the vertical leap and he also had hang time. So he could jump high and jump far. So people just remember him, you know, just for his jumping ability, his shooting ability. You know, he's an awesome athlete, and you know, at that time, dunking basketballs on Guam, there wasn't very many people doing it. And to have, you know, a guy from down south doing it, and, you know, it doesn't get any better.
Now, what does this court mean to him? Because, you know, like, especially like Southern basketball got such a rich tradition on Guam, but, you know, playing here, and back then, you know, we didn't have the advanced facilities we have right now. You know, most courts didn't even have aircon or even a cover and everything. So what about this, you know, to you as his son, is hallowed ground?
You know, I think this place down here in Agate, this is where all the hard work happens. This is the roots. If you're willing to come out here in the rain and play and train, you know, you love the game, and the more you love the game, the better you're going to be at it.
Mm-hmm. And your dad always tells like a famous story about the fact that you were almost like pressured into becoming a very, very accurate shooter, because if your ball went a little bit beyond here and everything like that, there's a river like right behind you.
Just behind me. So he used to say, if you're shooting on this side and you miss and the ball bounces into the river there, that ball's going far. So there's pressure on making those baskets.
Uh-huh. How much does the gold medal and how much his place in history and, you know, like the fact that his teammates are still so close and everything, to this day, Sev, how much does that mean to him?
You know, those are his brothers. Just like I have my brothers for my team. Those guys they're his brothers, you know.
For us as athletes, you know, you always say we have a love of competition and we play to win, but they went out and they were the first ones, and they proved that we could do it too.
Yeah, they did it. You know, they were local boys. All guys from Guam, local boys that just were playing guys that were playing college and playing pro overseas, and then they meet up with these guys, and you know, they held their ground and they beat them, you know, and they got that gold, and it's gonna live on forever.
Mm-hmm. What do other people, not just from the South but all over Guam, tell you about, you know, what their dad meant to them? Or it's like, hey, I didn't play, but I cheered on your dad, and, you know, like I saw your dad around, and, you know, he was a hero to us.
I mean, he was like the pride of Agate at that time. So, yeah.
Do people just come up to you and like share stories, or, you know, like relatives or like people from the village?
Yeah. Hold on.
Sorry, take your time, brother. Like when they approach you and they come up to you and they say, you know, I know your dad. What did they say?
Yeah. They just say how great he was, you know, and how they remember him. They just say, you know, he inspired a lot of people, just to be better people, not just better players.
He made them proud to be from Guam, right?
Yeah.
He represented us the way that all athletes would hope that you can represent our island that we love so much.
Exactly. Yeah. Damn.
Where's his gold medal at, Seth? And growing up and everything like that, was it displayed, and did you see it, or did he allow you to touch it, to pick it up?
You know, he was a humble guy. He never displayed anything. He was in a box in a drawer, you know, so he wasn't about all the awards and all that. He just loved the game and he wanted to win.
How often do his teammates reach out to you and just say, like, this is what Dad means to us?
All the time. You know, I get texts from Champ. A lot of the younger guys at the time. My dad was kind of like a veteran guy. You know, he inspired them. He inspired me. Inspired a lot of people.
And how about your own? You know, you're a father now. How do you, as a son, want to carry on his athletic tradition, and then, you know, pass that down to Theo and pass that down to your boy and say, you know, this is the way Grandpa did it, so, you know, this is the way we're going to do it because he did it right? Yeah, same thing. I mean, I have passion for the game. It wasn't forced at all. You know, I don't want to force it on him either. I'm going to surround him with the game. And if he wants to play, he's going to play. I wanted to play. My dad wanted to play, so hopefully he wants to play too. In one sentence, what does the 75 team mean to Dad? Inspiration for Guam athletes, not just basketball, for every sport. You know, like local kids can do it. They, you know, other places have support, financial support and all that. These guys barely had shoes on their feet, but they went out and played and they won. So. You never made excuses, man. No one's ever gonna outwork us. Nope. Yeah, exactly. That was their whole motto. If we're gonna lose in shape. And those guys were in shape, you know, so they had no excuse. And they were just, you know, those are the guys we look up to and we'll look up to forever.
We're very proud, myself and Frank Cruz, to announce the first ever Guam National Basketball Hall of Fame. Two players that will be inducted this year are Joe Taitano and Tony Suzuiko, who are legends of the game here on Guam, and two players that I grew up hearing so much about. And we know that they helped lead those teams. I'm sure they're big contributions all around, but they were leaders on those teams. That is our inaugural class of 6 inductees, and we're very proud of them, and we're proud to share their story. And we feel like the hard work that they provided will inspire future generations, because we know it inspired us. And we are inducting you into the first ever Guam National Basketball Hall of Fame, class of 2025. As one of our inspirational basketball players of all time in Guam. Wow, not easy. So take a look at this. Oh, thank you for all you've done to inspire all the basketball players on Guam and everyone who represents Guam.
All I did was just play and just follow the playing rules, you know.
I'll never forget, you came to the airport with your gold medal, and you came right up to me and said, EJ, go get one of these. He said, go get a gold medal. And that's the standard you set, is regardless whether we win or not, in our mind, we deserve the gold medal. We want to go for the best.
Like us in 75, you know, there were guys that just couldn't believe it.
So we're going to end telling the story of the 1975 Guam men's basketball team, fittingly here where everything started, at GW's gym, where a dream was realized, a vision was completed, and a legacy was formed. We hope you enjoyed this look back, and we hope you appreciate everything that the 75 team did for our sports community.